What's going on, all my growing partner, man? That's your boy checking in, man. Just wanted to drop in, not really quick, but really intentionally, and kind of give y'all a spiel, man. The last time I really gave a presentation like this, I was in Mars Hill University in North Carolina, and I was invited to be a speaker and a presenter at the Organic Grower School's 23rd annual convention. And I talked about food systems, hyperlocal food systems, and Farm Fresh 24/7 in the app that we created that we saw as the solution for everything. And yeah, things happen as they were supposed to in the universal mind. But for us, you know what I mean, it was definitely not what we expected. And we set out to really aid or cure this ailment of food insecurity with this app, only to realize it couldn't be done. So we had to take a step back. So again, I just want to give y'all an update. That was 2021. If you want to see the whole interview, it's on YouTube. OGS presentation 2021. You'll see me there and Damian Leahy, my brother, in our Farm Fresh 24/7 presentation. And again, from 2021 to today, December 25th, 2025, a lot has changed. And again, I want to give you the ins and outs of how we've been building community around food systems and just where the hyperlocal food system has taken us as far as understanding and know-how and insight. So grab a seat, grab you a Beverino, man. Let's wrap a tab. Okay, so it's not necessarily a story time, but it's a storyline. You know what I mean? So we're going to cover 4 years and what we learned along the way of building community in this hyperlocal food system movement. And again, we thought that building the app Farm Fresh 24/7 was just going to be the end all be all. It was going to break the barrier. It's going to allow people to have access to nutrient dense food. It's going to allow people to kind of have a more ethically sourced production list that they can kind of really pick and choose from, rather than trying to figure out who the corporation owned this new cereal that hit the market or this new bread, who really owned it. And again, we just thought that it was going to be a one shot, one kill. We had over 50,000 downloads to the Farm Fresh 24/7 app in the span of 6 weeks. That was major for us because we're a small organization. It's just myself and Damien, my brother. We still thugging it, but we thought that 50,000 was going to put us in the game. It was going to be a new, a spirit behind the movement. We're going to have more people. Little did we know that most of those downloads came from people who were literally trying to support other people who made their food, basically growers, bakers, and makers that put their things on the app. People were ready to buy, right? So that was a big problem. Out of 50,000 downloads, we had about 100 posts, new posts within that 6 week time frame. So that lets me know, or that let us know, that there was a big gap within production and consumerism. And it gave us more data to kind of pull from. And again, we thought we were in the clear. We thought we just had the app and the solution and it was going to be cut and dry. And no, with those numbers, that let us know that less than 1% of our base that used the app Farm Fresh 24/7, that was spirited about hyperlocal food systems and really leading the charge and like, hey, we got to be able to buy better food. We need to be able to know who we're buying it from. We need to be able to build these relationships. Less than 1% of those people were actually able to produce. And we again use that as data to kind of reassess where we were going and how we could get there. And it was just, the message was right in our face. It was not possible. So we had to take a step back, and I had to really look at myself as a person within community building that was really leading the charge, if you will, for hyperlocal food systems, and what I did in Atlanta to be successful. And what I realized was that I was going to have to break down what I do as a personal farm, Seals Family Farm. I was going to put my own farm's framework into a curriculum form. That was basically what I said would be the answer, because we need to get more people up to speed of how to grow things, how to bake things, how to make things. And that was the only solution that I could find. It was like, okay, everybody's spirited about it. They want to do it, but they don't have the know-how. How do we bridge that gap? It's through education. So what we did for the last 4 years have been to really walk through our framework and really kind of tease out the things that are needed and notable and recognizable. And we started to really create our own curriculum. And what we noticed is that as we were building our community here in Atlanta, that you see in that presentation, the growers exchanges that we had in 2021, all the things that we've been doing and learning new people and learning new skills, it started to really come into great use. It was a great value, more than money could ever put a price on. So we started to really build this curriculum, and some of our community members were like, hey, Farm Fresh 24/7 is strictly about growing food and baking things and making things. And I'm still passionate about this movement. I'm still passionate about this culture that we're bringing forward. And I have something that I think is valuable for the collectively sustainable, or excuse me, for the movement. This is before it was called collectively sustainable. So it was the people who were supporting Farm Fresh 24/7, but didn't have the capacity to grow yet, but they had another skill. And what we learned is that we could really open up, or what we learned is that we really needed to open up our parameters of this movement to not only involve food, because we know to sustain oneself, food is a core mechanism, but it's not the only thing, right? There's communications, there's defense, there is a joy and happiness and games and laughter and fun. And like, there's a lot of other things that we had to really add into the equation. And that's where collectively sustainable was birthed. It was because we understood that more people had other things that maybe I didn't have on my plate as a skill set, or even know how, or even like thought about, but other people were thinking about it. And it kind of gives us a decentralized framework of even community thought power, because we're all looking at it from different vantage points. So collectively sustainable is just what it sounds like. It's all of us coming together saying that if we all put our skills, our hobbies, our passions, our professions in the bowl, that we can indeed sustain one another. Right? So collectively sustainable was birthed around 2022, and it basically again was our personal framework of growing food, preserving food, and raising animals. And then we just expanded it out from there, and we started again reaching out to the community members and bringing them in, and started to host a lot of classes. And that was the thing. So it wasn't just built on our own edifice of information. We started to really show that the resources are really prevalent. They are abundant in our own communities. We just have to unearth these people. So that's been our journey thus far. We've really been intentional about honing in on the education. And again, removing the barriers of education to be just food, but adding in communications, adding in defense, adding in solar power, adding in, child rearing, you know what I mean? Conscientious parenthood. All these things we added in because we understood that it takes a well-rounded community to really make sure that everybody is taken care of and heard. And that's the most beautiful thing that we've done thus far. So collectively sustainable is a grassroots movement, and we started to create a curriculum that we could pull from, and we house a curriculum on a app called Heartbeat. And Heartbeat has been critical for us because now we can deliver information succinctly without the fear of being shadow banned, being kicked off your live, all those things that we kind of like zip our mouths up about online, because the powers that be own these communication channels. We needed to really get our own channel in mind. So, or excuse me, we really need to have our own channel in our control. So collectively sustainable is housed on Heartbeat, and within the Heartbeat app, we have monthly themes, we have weekly meetings, we have Monday meetings that go over more so our trajectory for the community. This is like a think tank. We have Each One Teach Ones on Wednesdays. That's where we deal with community conception, as far as like what we feel the community should look like, what it should feel like, what it should be like, what the experience we want to have. We go over hands-on training, from how to make your own soap to your own deodorant to seed starting to food preservation. And we even go through authentic dialogue, which is a key core element because we know that communication builds the nation, right? It can also destroy it too. So we have to learn how to communicate with each other. So collectively sustainable house all those faculties in one place. And that's kind of where we springboard the movement, right? Or the movement of education, right? So again, it goes past just growing food, preserving food, and raising animals, and it goes into fire starting. It goes into solar power banks. It goes into communications, and this is kind of, again, where our community gets to add in and pour in their own value and deem it valuable themselves. You know what I mean? A lot of things come to a head in movements where we're saying like, oh, it's some kind of system echelon that we have to pull from to say, hey, this is important and this is not. You know what I mean? I'm a frequency person. I believe that frequency and sound healing is very important. It's critical to the movement going forward. But maybe I don't think so much about guns or ammo or being prepared as far as having my pantry stocked. And it's kind of like, again, I get to bring what I have, and that person who is on the prepper side gets to bring what they have, while this person who is into the foraging side and living off the land brings what they have. And again, collectively, we get to get a piece of everybody's skill set and understanding and use it to frame our new culture. And one of the two marquee frameworks that have been instituted within the collectively sustainable modality is the Back to Basics program. And the Back to Basics program is a homeschooling enrichment program.
You feel so cool, bro. Look at.
Yeah.
No, that didn't sound right.
I got two friends. So like, yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna give y'all plastic bag to put the chips in, and then you're gonna simply snap it in half. Put it in y'all pot once y'all done with it.
Again, the school system is faulty as well. Is along with the food system, the school system is there, and we're looking desperately for different avenues to kind of educate our children. And the Back to Basics program is one of those things that we created out of necessity. We're saying that we as adults don't have the capacity right now. No, excuse me, we don't have. It's not that we don't have the capacity. We don't have the skill set right now to grow, bake, and make products. And we're saying before our children get grown, we're going to go ahead and get them early. We're not going to let them get caught up in the whirlwind that we was caught up in, to where we're in our mid 30s now trying to learn how to bake bread and make deodorant and grow food. Nah, we're going to catch y'all early. So Back to Basics is just what it sounds like. 8 to 14 years old. Back to Basics is a program that is unique because it complements our movement and the bartering and the initiative of pouring our money inside of our own community first. So Back to Basics is housed at a stewardship center. Stewardship center is basically where we come to learn. It's an educational space. It could be a farm, a homestead, a garden, a community garden plot. It could be somebody's backyard. So the stewardship center is just a green space where you can do hands-on training. And again, the Back to Basics curriculum targets the youth, and they're going to learn the same thing the adults learn, but just in their own atmosphere. You know what I mean? They're going to learn seed starting. They're going to learn food preservation. They're going to learn animal husbandry. They're going to learn basic carpentry. All those things are housed right here in our educational facility called a stewardship center. The Back to Basics program is outlined to be facilitated by community members. So it's like Montessori 2.0, right? If you're a community member and you have a specific skill, you can link up. If you're a lighthouse, you can link up with the stewardship center and present your class to the youth. You can also present your class to adults. So this is kind of what the stewardship center is. It's a very, very important infrastructural mechanism that again allows us to step into a filtration system. And when I say filtration system, I mean we're filtering out the holds of capitalism on your mind and your being and your habits. And you're coming in here and we're putting you back into a position where you're relearning how to be in community. You're relearning how to give and take, you know, the reciprocity, the much needed reciprocity within a system that keeps it sustained, right? Capitalism teaches us to extract and hoard, right? But living in this community, this culture that we're building, we're saying, no, pour in as you take out. Pour in so that somebody's reinvigorated. Pour in so that as you pull deodorant from somebody, you can offer them toothpaste. You can offer them seeds. You can offer them eggs. Something that you have to give in response. A skill, a hobby, a talent. Something that you can do that impacts that person just as much as the thing that you're buying from them. So that's our cultural edifice. And again, with the stewardship centers, that's where everything is housed. Not only are we doing the Back to Basics program for the youth, which is again typically a bartering program where the students, their parents are the teachers as well. Old school. So again, my children are in the program. I'm going to teach a couple days a month. Somebody else who is a member, their children are in the program. They're going to teach a couple days a month. So now our children don't get limited or stifled by what I know. I can literally pass them around to other people and give them a taste of different things. So again, check out Montessori. If you haven't heard of that concept before, this is definitely like Montessori 2.0 with the spin of specificity and sustainability. So that's definitely something that's notable. The other notable program that we have is the Roots Initiative. The Roots Initiative was developed so that all the things we learn online, we can put in practice in person. So a lot of communities are dead set on building community online, and that's all they do is build it online, and they help each other online. But when you come back home, you're by yourself. We're not even going to play like that's an option. Our community is very much a hybrid. You're going to learn stuff online, but then you're going to accentuate them in reality. You're going to learn it online, and then you're going to turn around and we're going to give you the tools so you can face forward to your community and wave your hands and say, hey, come on over here if you're looking for something different. Come on over here if you're tired of working that 9 to 5 and you're tired of barely making it. You're tired of your kids learning pointless information. You're tired of the food being jam-packed with processed ingredients that cause functioning within your body. If you're tired of that, come on over here. We got framework for you, right? So that's what we're doing. And this Roots Initiative is very critical because, again, a lot of us don't know how to grow food, right? Even if you're bringing in other skills like you're a small engine mechanic, or you know how to build houses, or you can insulate container homes, you can build tiny houses, we all have to play a part in our food system. So the Roots Initiative is a mutual aid construct that we are empowering our communities with by going to people's front yards, backyards, collective spaces, and we're installing 10 by 10 food production systems.
The word of the day is every challenge in the world is an invitation for someone bold enough to step in and create answers. Your family does not need another spectator sitting on the stands clapping for others' success. They need a builder. They need a visionary. They need you to rise, to break limits, to craft something that will outlive you. Legacy is not built by watching. It is built by doing. The opportunities of today belong to those who solve problems, to those who choose action over excuses. So step into the arena. Be the solution your family has been praying for. Build build something that generations after you will thank you for, because history does not remember spectators, it remembers builders and leaders. Good morning,
We're installing them. All you have to do is buy the materials. And if we have the money in excess, then we'll buy the materials for you. You have to be a community member to be a part of it. Why? Because you have to take all the training, the authentic dialogue, right? You have to understand what our mission is, why we're doing these things. You have to understand that the same way you're counting on us to help you install and maintain your garden, somebody else is going to be looking at you the same way. Right. So that's the main focus of the 10 by 10. And again, it's a wonderful time to do it. Everybody's looking for nutrient dense food. Everybody's looking for cheaper produce. Everybody's looking for a solution. And the reality is there is no solution if we all don't buy into it. If we don't all buy into it, there is no solution. There's no way that less than 2% of Americans are farmers, and that's what's supposed to feed us all. Not going to happen. So again, I'm just fast tracking y'all. That's the data we uncovered within the Farm Fresh 24/7 presentation in 2021 to now December 25th, 2025. We realized that we need more producers, or we call it prosumers. We need more people who are intentional about their spending and intentional about pouring back in. And the only way we can really make sure that people are able to pour back in is to educate. And here we are with Collectively Sustainable right now with over 200 members. These memberships are also a real spectrum of pivot, because before Farm Fresh was just moved off of donations. It was just donation based. And again, we had that spike of 50,000 people, and then we got hit with that digital ocean bill. We got hit with that bill, and we was like, oh, it's we can't do donations. That's not going to work all the time. So Collectively Sustainable is a $5 a month membership fee. It's like dues, right? And when you pay your membership fee, guess what? The first thing we're going to do is make sure Farm Fresh 24/7 is available and free for others to download. Why? Because Farm Fresh is our tool. Again, as we create more prosumers, where are you going to post your new item? Where are you going to post this deodorant or this body butter or these microgreens or these tomatoes that you have in abundance? You're going to post them on Farm Fresh 24/7 so other people can see. And what's going to happen is they might see it and then come to you to pick it up, because you know we took out that payment gateway. So they got to come to you to pick it up. And you can spread the gospel about this grassroots movement that you're a part of in your area. And that's how we're moving thus far. So right now, the Stewardship Center is really the focal point of the movement. It's where we introduce people into a new system, and when they come out, they're brand new. Their mind is renewed. Their circadian rhythm is back in check. They're eating in season. They're understanding why they shouldn't be eating this type of flour that's been bleached and enriched. And they're understanding why these wheat berries are impactful. They're understanding why fresh greens, you know what I mean, are jam-packed with the minerals you need versus the stuff you get from the store. And again, this is just where the rubber meets the road, right? So stewardship centers are more than impactful. They're more than necessary. And right now, not only do we have 7 coming alongside ours here in Atlanta, we have 7 more nationwide. People start to embrace the culture and replicate it in their area, we're able to say, see, it's working. It's working over there in New Orleans. They have 3 stewardship centers already. And the beautiful part is these stewardship centers are done out of people who are doing it out of love. We all still broke too. Why? Because the system is failing us. There's no option to not be broke. But we still have to build something in the midst of the chaos. And these stewardship centers are it because they don't take overhead. It's somebody's backyard who's already paying the mortgage. It's somebody's farm who's already paying for the land. It's somebody's homestead that's already decked out. They already got chickens. They already got the coop. They already got the grow space. What we're doing is attaching ourselves to the existing resources so that we don't have to really pay a huge overhead. And our goal is to acquire enough money and membership so that we can start paying these stewardship centers. It'll be our own stipend. So as a community of people with a new culture in mind, we can start to say, hey, this money that is really no good and fizzling out in this system, we're going to start to invest it into the next system. And right now, these stewardship centers might need their bills paid. They might need their mortgage paid, but that's way cheaper than renting a commercial brick and mortar and trying to make these like YMCAs. Now we're going to start with the people who are already doing the work, and we're going to invite people to your spot. And that's the culture of what we're doing. And again, right now, we have a wonderful opportunity to galvanize a nationwide crew that really feels the same way, and we can start to organize our education and really show that we're not waiting for anybody. So I appreciate y'all listening in, man. If it touched your ears and reached your soul, like definitely consider joining Collectively Sustainable.org. Learn more about the Roots Initiative. The Back to Basics program is a curriculum that's structured, that is inside the community. So if you become a stewardship center, that's a curriculum you get access to. And again, this is a wonderful opportunity for us to really do something brand new. And I'm looking forward to seeing y'all on the front lines, man. That's your boy.